into the shadow. Your past
came in. I mean, when I first heard Matt play, he walked in. First thing I thought was Austin. I mean, Austin was my first. I don't know. Took me right to Austin. And I thought, well, these guys are gonna be crazy, wild kind of people. I didn't know. They look a little Seattle, a little Austin, a little crazy.
But I'm on that side.
But I like crazy. I like being on the road for so many years. I've worked around so many people, and the spice of life is just the uniqueness of people. And I thought when he pulled out that little bitty ukulele, I was like, this guy's got some kahunas. He really does, man. He's gonna show us. Look, this is gonna sound great. I mean, it's all because at first it looked silly, man. I gotta tell you, I thought this guy, he could hold a chainsaw and he's got a ukulele. I mean, it's just like,
That's classic. I think that's the best line I've ever heard ever.
That's what we want, is that kind of stuff, where we're just, we're not thinking about it and just having fun, when I first heard the title, Flew Into a Shadow, it took me a little while to get it. I think I was saying fluid to a shadow, which I kind of like too. But that name, man, it caught my eye, and really did. In a sense of understanding it, just like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And no, I didn't know you guys well at the time, so I thought, this is some transcendental, medicated kind of idea, that it's like, this is really way deep, and once I got to learn your background, and your faith, I thought, I got it, man, that's cool. But the title is so important, man. What a hook, I mean, and probably the hardest part about Flew Into a Shadow, it's got a great hook, it's got a great chorus. On the ukulele, having a hook's tough because doing reggae, because things are so much. It's like blues, everything's 1-4-5-2, and it goes to a circle of fifths and comes back around, and reggae's a lot the same way. It's very simplistic, so really tough to get a hook that really stands out. But fluid was like crazy. I know your wife was like, okay, this guy's got to get it right, and he keeps saying this, and I go, flew into a shadow, you're under the wing of this creator, and I fell in love with it before I knew what it was about. That was the cool thing about it, was just the sound of your voice. I really didn't care what you said. I didn't care, and all I knew was that the title was intriguing, and the sound was intriguing, and it's kind of like, I remember growing up, I would hear Elton John, to all these other artists. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know what they were saying. I just liked the song because it sounded cool. There was something cool about it. There was a hook. I got the hook, but I didn't really listen to the lyrics. The groove was good, and that's kind of the way Flew Into a Shadow reminded me of the fact that it was that first initial listen, and I'm like, this is cool. I don't really care what the song says at all. I just like it, I mean, for me, that's how easy it was, man.
It was. I'll say. It was when we were. I remember when we started recording that song, "Flew Into a Shadow," and Mandy was over. She goes, "Did he say fluid to a shadow?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Don't worry about it." I mean, that's kind of a cool title. I don't know, maybe. And I actually started thinking. I remember thinking, you know what? I might actually change it to "Flew Into a Shadow." Maybe. And she goes, "Honey, well, what are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, okay, well, I probably should just stick to Flew Into a Shadow." She goes, "He needs to know." And I'm like, "It'll be okay. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's not a big deal." And then
should we find another studio?
Broke the camel's back. And she just, what is it? I think she piped in and she said, "So just so we're straight, it's Flew Into a Shadow." And then I was kind of like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's okay," because I'm the guy that like goes and goes, "Oh, no, a big deal. No, it's fine." She's like, "Hey, we got to make sure these things are like straightforward and it's clear." And so ever since then, it's kind of been sort of like a joke. Ever since then, fluid.
She walked in like Louise Scruggs' wife was his manager, and she got him tons of stuff. She was amazing and brilliant, and she reminded me Mandy did the same thing. She walked in and said, we just need to get this straight. It's flew into a shadow. And it was like, and you know, I'm so bad about hearing it really quick. We're rolling, our juices are flowing, and I'm typing out the title of the song for the session, and it may be, you know, I flew into a shadow. You know, I'm just saying, you never know what it's going to be. And then we'll end up, you know, I'll end up getting it straight, but definitely my fault right off the bat. But it was funny, man.
It certainly was.
She cracked me up.
Ever since that day, you know, and I think that kind of introduced, you know, Mandy's, you know,
And the first
personality
thing,
a
when
little
she
more.
stood up to say that, I thought, Mandy, you're a fine girl. You know, like that song reminded me back in the 80s that just stood up and had to say, hey, it's flu.
Flu.
Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
As long as played by an ukulele, everything turns out.
That's right.
So my favorite addition to actually creating the song "Flew into a Shadow" was two of them. I have two of them. One was Brad's guitar playing. I think that was one a little bit more towards the end, I believe.
Yeah.
One of the last.
Yeah.
And he picked it. He made it where I already thought I was really happy with it, and I thought I was, and then Brad came in with the guitar, and it really brought it to a point where I'm going, oh my goodness, I could listen to the same song for hours. Not that it's just my music, but it's because what was the engine behind it, and I think that was, for me, that was huge.
Well, you know, the song was already together, man. It was already together. It had almost a little magic feel, if I can say that. But it's almost like whenever you can put yourself in a helicopter way away from the song, you can kind of see some areas where you could just add a little bit of color. You know, you could add some brights and some yellows, and I look at everything in color. And when it came in to me, it was like a royal blue with a little bit of brown on the bottom, and that gives me a little bit of foundation and then a little bit of pizzazz on top, and then, you know, then I'm going to take my paintbrush and just kind of paint around that, you know, and make it a little bit, make it sparkle up a little bit. But you know, it's with a lot of taking a breath and just leaning back and going, it only needs a little bit, just a tiny bit here. If I do too much, you know, it's going to mess it up. And probably all those years with great coaches like Marty Stewart, and list goes on, that said, you're playing too much. You know, as a young player, you learn how to back up and not overdo it, you know. And the main thing in the focus is your voice and the song, as humble as you are, always. But it's really cool that, you know, that's the focus. And my job as a side guy for years, which I'm a great side guy, I don't mind saying that in public, is I'm great at making someone look good. That's what I'm really good at.
I would second that. I agree with that. Say though, the second addition to Flew into a Shadow was when Brad had actually set up with the Pans group from
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They came in and Brad started recording them, and also his son Landon had come in, as well as a few other folks from the program hanging out, and including Professor Zader. So we got to hang out, and when they were playing,
Professor Zader.
wow, that's an
You
awesome
gotta love
name.
that
I
name.
gotta say, if I'm gonna be a professor, that's gonna be the name I'm gonna go with. But I come in and I'm starting to tear up, as well as Landon was too. I'm sitting here thinking, I feel like I could just go to heaven right now. Like, I was happy. That was the kind of feel that I was really looking for. That I wanted to land in a place where it goes, oh yeah, this is like fulfillment of, you know, like as a musician, you got like that stuck up inside you. There's a sound you want to create, you want to land on. You going, this is it. And as soon as the steel drum, the Pans group came in, whoo, man alive, I wasn't sure what to do. I felt like I was kind of like a heavier set kid in a candy shop and eating too much, then I was caught going, stop eating the candy. And I felt really terrible because I should be doing something more for this, you know. And I'm my case of drop jaw, I'm crying, and I'm going, Brad, you're awesome. I almost called him beautiful once too, but I held myself back.
You know, I heard the Steel Band a year ago, prior to the recording, and it was at the college, and I was with my wife, and I was like, God, these guys are amazing. They're in Commerce? No way. And there were like 10 of them. And I said, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get 10 of those guys in that room and record it properly, because it would be so much bleed over from all the, all of them would bleed over, and it would be it'd be way too much. So I kept thinking, I'm going to use that somewhere down the road on some project. I don't know what it's going to be. And then, you guys came in, and I thought, man, we got to do the pans. So I called Dr. Zader, and I said, would you guys want to do a session? Yeah, we'd love to. The opportunity to be in Commerce and do a session? Yes, So I said, I only need 3. Remember, because we only had 3 in the room, because they're so loud, man.
Filled the space real quick.
Oh, yeah. So it was like, when they started playing, it was, I even had that little moment.
Hair standing.
Yeah, where I was like, ooh, the hair is standing up, man. It was really amazing. And that, to me, everybody goes, wow, you're producing these independent artists and you spend so much time on them. I go, well, somebody's going to hear, this is going to be a great project. Every project, I think, I step into, and maybe that's foolish. It's going to be a great project. It's going to be a history breaker. It's going to be something I'm going to be really proud of. And I want to be proud of everything, but definitely unique, man. I mean, unique with that voice and that ukulele and the pans. And then we added B3. We went ahead and added one more instrument. And you're going, I don't know. I go, just hang on. Let's just, I hear it.
It warmed it up real nice.
Let's just try it. But it had to be done real simple. I mean, we really couldn't hire an awesome, brilliant B3 player. We had to hire myself and hit one note, and then hit one note. It couldn't be busy. Or find some guy that wouldn't play too much, and then we'd been fine. But what a cool tapestry of stuff on there, man.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive. Didn't get tired, and I still listen to that song.
Oh.
Over and over and over. It's terrible.